Right, boys, we've got Nut in the game. Or Newt, I guess is how you're supposed to say it. Sorry, fellas. She'll forever be known as Nut to me, and there's nothing we can do about it. This is actually one of the gods that I've never played. Right, so welcome to the game, boys. We've got Nut in the game, or Newt. She looks fucking gorgeous. I'm going to have to blur that out now. That was a lot of stars. Oh, no. I don't know how any of this works. Right, we're going to get Aegis. And she plays like a carry, I believe. Or is she a mage? I'm pretty sure she's a carry. Yeah, she's a carry. So we're going to start with Death's Toll and go the Dagger of Frenzy standard build route. But she's a carry that's magical. So she's got range basics, damage type magical, and she scales with intelligence and strength. Her passive is Flux, which is while her strength exceeds her intelligence, she gains the Stellar Flux, which provides attack speed. And if her intelligence exceeds her strength, she gains Astral Flux, which is that abilities consume basic attacks for magical damage. Is that right? I don't know. Sorry, I was looking in. Oh god. So this is her warp ability, which is you just gosh. Sorry, I'm really bad with sorry, I say attack speed. It steals one of her like flux things down here. In order to do bonus magical damage. That's a correction on my part. God, they're trying to... Dude, this is not the game for me to... I wonder if I can get this 4 on the back door. He just eat a tower, a phoenix hit, and just not die. Nice. Behind, yawn behind. Don't go like anywhere with that dash. Am I doing it wrong? I'm gonna die if I chase that. Right. Anyway, let me recall quickly. Right, so her 1 is her convergence, which is your attacks fire extra projectiles dealing magical damage. They pass through enemies, as we saw, and if you have Astral Flux activated, which is your intelligence, you consume 4 stacks to cause the target to lose protections. Her 2 is Crash Down, which is you call down a comet that deals magical damage when it lands. Enemies in the center are rooted, and enemies on the edge are trembled. And if you have Astral Flux activated, which is the intelligence version, it does an echo, and it does it again. That's her ult, which is a black hole, which we'll get to in a second. Warp, you teleport in the direction you are moving, firing projectiles at nearby enemies. In Stellar, your cooldown... It resets the cooldown of Convergence, which is your 1. Sorry, I am reading this at the same time. Oh, good route from her. Resets the cooldown of your 1 and grants 8 ammo because I... Okay, sure. Sure. And if you have your Astral Flux activated, it shoots in an extra 2 projectiles instead. And then finally, her ult is Skyfall, which is you become CC immune, fly in the sky, and that should be a kill. Let's do this. Nice. Now we just have 4 to deal with. We'll get to the ult in a second. To tremble. Nice. Lovely work. Right, I will log in a second, like actually. But in the means, her ult is, you become CC immune, you fly into the sky and you fire a massive black hole that deals damage and then detonates, dealing additional damage and pulls people in, a bit like Merlin's 2 on his purple. Also, Nut's aspect is coming soon on the 26th of December, which is Boxing Day. So that's exciting. But yeah, that's Nut. I'm going to take it away, I think, and do some patch notes. I was trying to avoid this, but this update has been so crazy that there's so much to talk about. So I'll take it away to myself to talk about some stuff, and then I'll carry on doing this game. Alright guys, welcome to the patch notes, right? I was kind of planning on dropping patch notes in order to just make dedicated videos and stuff, but this update has done so much that it's kind of like something to talk about, right? We'll go through things super quick so I don't take up much of anyone's time. First thing is we've had some cool quality of life improvements. There's lobby visuals, loads of windows, prompts, health bars, all of that. You'll see at the end of this game there's a new surrender vote. There's cool things like that. Anyway, the main thing I came to talk about is there's 2 new aspects. One is Geb has been reworked so that his aspect of calamity no longer makes him do the 2 that does a 360 around him, reducing cooldown for everyone he hits. Instead makes him a carry, an ADC. His attacks are ranged, they travel slowly, they pierce with damage, fall off. Shockwave deals circular damage, crits trigger on hits and grant attack speed on god hit. Stone Shield is self only and buffs attack damage, and Cataclysm uses knockback rather than a stun, causes knockback. Following on from that, Culk is getting a new aspect called the aspect of Squall, which makes him a jungler. So you gain mana from jungle monster kills and god kills and assists. Zephyr has shorter range but fires 3 projectiles with fall off on each one you hit, kind of like Danza. And Slipstream is always a dash and steals protections. Whirlwind attaches to you and explodes in a blast that knocks back enemies. This is really cool. Some awesome changes have happened in Conquest. The map they've cut out all the side parts of the map. Not the lanes, obviously, but the side teleporters, the back harpies, and the side oracles are removed. Fire imps no longer despawn when other bosses spawn in the fire giant pit. Fire giant's fury is a buff that no longer scales with each fire giant that's been slain. It just grants a flat damage, whatever it for strength or intelligence, whatever is higher. The moonlight phase is just the cool bit. Winning the moonlight phase by gathering more shard now resets base teleporter cooldowns, which allows you to recall, get back in the fight. The Nagas that spawn, you now teleport to them if they're further up than the furthest tower. The Ritual of the Moon has now been changed. It grants 5% movement and additional 0.5 for every 5 shards personally connected. Enemies are revealed for 7 seconds instead of 3, and there's no longer a damage bit. And now each moonlight phase has a different thing that happens, which is the coolest thing about this. So the second moonlight phase, which is at 15 minutes, spawns the Moonlight Queen. The Queen Naga returns as a neutral boss that spawns only once in the Fire Giant Pit at the start of the second Moonlight phase. It will despawn at 18 minutes if not slain beforehand. It does not heal when leashed and does not respawn. The Moonlight Queen stats scale every 1 minute, kind of like the Fire Giant, Gold Lost Knight, Gold Fury, all of that. If you kill the Moonlight Queen, she gives you a permanent 5% strength and intelligence. She drops the Star Strike consumable item, which grants all allies to Star Strike passive ability for 30 seconds, which Star Strike follows up ability damage with a second AoE explosion that deals 100 plus 20% intelligence as magical damage. And you can only trigger once per ability. So that's really cool. It'll probably win you the next team fight. It's just awesome to see a new objective that's no longer like free farm, forcing fights. Anyway, at the third Moonlight phase, which is at 24 minutes, the Ancient Fury spawns, which is the same as before. Instead of requiring 3 Gold Furies to be killed, the Ancient Fury starts at the third Moonlight phase instead, and the debuff no longer disables backdoor protection. So it should come a lot sooner if people aren't playing objectives, but either way, very cool. And finally, the fourth Moonlight phase, which at 33 minutes gives you an enhanced Fire Giant. The Fire Giant becomes enhanced. He gets extra stats, but his kill reward is increased to now grant 80 strength, 120 in, which is plus 30/45 over the normal one. heals 2% of health and mana, which is normally 1% for the normal, and attacks now bypass backdoor protections. Very objective orientated now, which is awesome. I actually don't mind that sort of playstyle. Quite excited to see more of this, and getting rid of the free farm that made it quite difficult to stop someone from just like camping is now gone. So that's cool changes to Conquest. Looking at God balances next, we have a nerf for Agni, which is just a decreased tick strength and burst per level on his passive. Has been buffed, his shifting stands now increased damage taken by an extra 4%, and his free has increased strength scaling. I always thought Unha was quite good, so I'm unsure about that. RTO's been nerfed. I won't go too much into it, it's just a bunch of like shifting and downgrades, but this is mainly for her aspect of the Den Mother. A set has been nerfed again, her silence duration has been decreased, and her wing gust has decreased heal scaling in her aspect. Humbats has had a nerf. There was an issue where attacks were dealing 5 more damage than intended, and the aspect of disruption, infused strikes have removed bonus damage, and your free has decreased scaling. Next up we have Yorm. Yorm has had a shift that now he's now classified as a ranged character, which this only means that agility relic isn't as strong on him as it once was, because it was making you kind of leap towards your enemy. Loki's had a buff, his Vanish has had increased strength scaling, his agonizing vision has increased tick damage. Mulan's had a nerf, her grapple has decreased protections, and she has removed the movement speed from a mastery bonus. Force 2 has decreased cooldown, he's had a buff, and his free has increased damage. Suki has had a buff, his ult in aspect now does more damage, which is fine because no one uses the aspect. And Sheba's had a buff, his branching bowlers in his aspect has increased damage, which makes sense because that aspect kind of sucks after all the nerfs. And here's another big one. We've got some cool new items to look at, as well as the relic overhaul. So relics can now be used as components to build new active items. If they were your chosen relic, the slot becomes empty, allowing you to get a new relic in the slot. Each relic active will have a more powerful version of the relic, but will not be as stat efficient as other items would be for its cost. The Mote of Chaos is a new item, which is plus 5% stats from other items. I think this works like that item you get in Titan's Bane, and it seems to be used to make all of the relic active. I'm going to kind of go over all of these really quickly because I don't think you need to understand what I'm saying. Yeah, the Blinking Abyss is the Blink Rune and the Mote of Chaos is an adaptive stat of Strength or Intelligence. You get plus 7.5% from other items, and then on use you teleport. Then 1 second after teleport you do 150 damage in a radius. If it damages a god, you reduce the cooldown. This is great for like junglers and people like Ares, those tanks that want to get in. Reducing the cooldown makes it so much more worth it. Next up we have the Time Lock Aegis, which is the Aegis of Accelerations thing. It gives you procs as well as the stat bonus, and then while in stasis you regenerate 30 seconds worth of health, 30 seconds worth of mana, and 10 seconds worth of ability cooldown. Talisman of Purification, it already existed but it's now been adjusted, so they decreased the magical procs and the health but increased the cooldown rate. Agility Greaves is up next. It's an extra 5% movement speed, as well as the ranged gods get the 40% attack speed projectile, that goes up to 80 after you use it, and melee gods get the minus 15% attack penalty that goes up to 30 if you use it. Sundering Arc has been reworked. It's removed the deal damage to jungle camps. It now just applies bleed to all enemies, not just god, and bleed deals damage. So it's no longer who can click Sunder first, because it does 500 flat damage, so you could use it to steal stuff like Fire Giant and Gold Fury, or any objectives. And the new item is Sundering Echo, which is on use. You do the bleed, as well as enemies who die explode, applying this to other nearby enemies. So that would be good for stealing camps and stuff. Shell of Rebuke is the Phantom Shell new item. There's one new item as well, It's called Ragnarok's Wake. It's a 2,600 gold item. It gives you 250 health, 45 physical protections. On use, you choose a target location, you stop for 2 seconds, and then you fly up into the sky, dealing heavy damage and knocking enemies straight up upon impact, with a cooldown of 140 seconds. This is just Satir's ult from Smite 1 in an item. It looks crazy, it looks really fun to use. I've got great ideas for this in the future. Jade Scepter has been reworked. It now is on use. You place a Jade current at target location. After 1 second it erupts, and knocking away any enemy in the any god in the area, including allies. Lifebind has been nerfed to do less intelligence. Regrowth Striders has been nerfed to have a decreased cooldown rate. Scepter of Dominion has been buffed to have decreased build-up time, and Sphere of Negation has been nerfed to have less magical procs. And that is it for the update. I'm not sure what's happening in the game, so yeah, this is really huge. I'm just so happy, actually so happy with the state of the progress of this. Really, it's so exciting to have the fun aspects, the fun items, the cool changes, and I'm very happy with how this is going. So I hope you guys are enjoying Smite 2 too. Gosh, there's too many twos. Anyway, enjoy the rest of the video. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you next time. Bye.